In this video, I'm going to show off my Keldeo Blastoise deck list. I will start out by saying this is about the most basic version as it gets for Keldeo Blastoise, because I cannot afford Tropical Beach. You know, it's a $130 card, so you really couldn't blame me for that. I also don't run Black Kyurem EX, which a lot of people do, so... But otherwise, I think that it's a pretty good deck. At the Lincoln Battle Roads, I won 2 matches with my deck, lost 2, won 2, so I won 50% of my games, which honestly was a little more than I was expecting. I was expecting to win 1 and lose 3, but I did well. I will admit, my final match that I won was against the Snorlax deck, which Keldeo Blastoise just will win against unless it's a crap deck. But anyway, so I guess I'll start. So, let's see here. Pretty much the main attacker of the deck, 3 Keldeo. As you see here, I got the full art version, the set art, and the promo art version. One of each. That's just for fun. I'm making this video kind of for the people who don't really know how Pokemon works very well. So, it has an ability called Rush In. Once during your turn, before you attack, if this Pokemon is on your bench, you may switch this Pokemon with your active Pokemon. Pretty much that means you don't even have to retreat that turn. You could just, if this Keldeo is up front and this Keldeo is on the bench, and I could just switch them just like that. You can only do it once per Keldeo, but then say after I decide, nah, I like the other one better, I could just rush in like that again. Then, if I still wanted this one out front later, then I could manually retreat by just removing the 2 energy attached to Keldeo. But anyway, another thing about Keldeo is the more water energy that you attach to it, the more it does. Secret Sword does 50 for 3 colorless, and 20 more for each water energy. So if all those 3 colorless energies are water, it does 110. If you have another one attached, it does 130, and so on. And then there's the Pokemon that is in charge of making sure that Keldeo powers up, Blastoise. So I run 1 shiny and 3 regular Blastoise. Thing with Blastoise is, as often as you like during your turn before your attack, you may attach a water energy card from your hand to one of your Pokemon. So you could just have 1 Blastoise on your bench and 3 Keldeo in play, and that Blastoise could attach as many water energy as you have in your hand to those Pokemon. You have to announce that you're actually doing the Deluge ability, otherwise it counts as an energy attachment, and then you get in big trouble if you attach multiple times per turn. But, you know, if you just announce that it's Deluge, then that's what powers up Keldeo. So I run 4 Blastoise, and of course, in order to get 4 Blastoise, you need to have 4 Squirtle. So those are my 4 Squirtle, nothing special about them. Its ability prevents it from being hit by damage while it's on the bench, and heaven forbid you actually have to resort to using Blastoise during the game. So, and then I have a secondary attacker in this deck, Mewtwo. So that's the full art and the promo version. Mewtwo has an attack called X-Ball. Does 20 damage times the amount of energy attached to both this Pokemon and a defending Pokemon. So say you have a double colorless energy, that provides your energy for Mewtwo. That'll do 40 damage base if all the energy attached is on Mewtwo and there's only the 2 energy. For each energy attached to a defending Pokemon, it works against them and it does another 20, and so on. I believe my first match I actually won mainly because of Mewtwo. I didn't really use Keldeo that much because I had 2 of them prized. It was not fun. But anyway. So now, that was all the Pokemon in my deck. Now I'm going to go to the trainer cards. Starting with the supporters. And the first supporter I'm going to show you that I use is Professor Juniper. 1 full art, 3 regular from Black and White base. Thing with Juniper is, you get to discard your entire hand and then draw 7 new cards. On the downside, you might get rid of something that you realize later that you need. I've not really ever run across that situation. I've always been pretty good at discarding cards when I don't need them. And then I do have ways of getting some cards back. The downside, of course, is that you can only play one supporter per turn. So let's say you have a Juniper in your hand, you use it, you discard your hand, draw 7 new cards, and you don't draw anything good. It kind of sucks, but you know, most of it is strategy. Trying to make sure that you actually do pull the cards that put the cards in your deck that you know you'll want to pull if you play Juniper or N or something. And speaking of N, that's my next one. I run 3 N, 2 full arts and 1 regular from Dark Explorers. Thing with N is Fiddle Focus. Each player shuffles his or her hand into his or her deck. Then each player draws a card for each of his or her remaining cards. So early game, both of you would draw 6 cards. Late game, say you have 6 prizes left and your opponent has 1. That means you could play in, you get 6 new cards, your opponent loses their entire hand and only gets 1 new card. The way in works, usually that 1 card is pretty good, but the reason I run 3 is that, well, if I need a fresh hand, then I usually have another supporter in hand to get it, and if not, there really is not much that I can do about it. More often than not, whenever I need an N, my opponent plays it for whatever reason. So then, next up is Scylla, and I run 4 regular. Scylla lets you search your deck for a trainer card, any trainer card. It could be an item card, a supporter card. You couldn't use it the same turn, but you could still pull it, or a stadium card. A bunch of people, they use Scylla early game to get Tropical Beach for their Keldeo Blastoise deck. Since I don't run Tropical Beach, I can't use it. Can't search for that, but yeah, that's pretty much how Scylla works. And then finally, Colress. I run Reverse Hollow and 1 regular. So 2 altogether. Shuffle your hand into your deck, then draw a number of cards equal to the number of bench Pokemon, both yours and her opponents. Sometimes this is a good card, sometimes it's not. It's so iffy, that's why I only run 2. I believe during my Battle Roads I used this once to get a hand of 4. If it's 4 or more, then I'd be happy. Sometimes I'm even happy with 3, but there are some times when Colress is the only supporter in your hand and there are no benched Pokemon. And those are times when it just really, really sucks. But anyway. And then my A-spec for this is Computer Search. Discard your 2 cards from your hand, then search your deck for any card you want and put that into your hand. You can only use 1 A-spec in a deck, and I chose Computer Search because it's best for this deck. And then, of course, no deck is complete without 4 Catcher. That's all it is, 4 regular Catcher. You can't afford the shiny one, sorry guys. You switch your opponent's active Pokemon with one of his or her bench Pokemon. This is a really big troll card right now. It's the most expensive trainer, I believe. Most expensive item card, at least. Let's see. 4 rare candy to get Squirtle to Blastoise. And usually when I have rare candies in my hand that I don't need, that's fine because I run Ultra Ball. I have 1 shiny, 3 regular. Ultra Ball, you discard 2 cards from your hand, and then search your deck for any Pokemon. I'm annoyed that I've had to use this mostly to find Squirtles, but you know, whatever works for this deck. And then this is what I'm talking about for getting some of those cards back from the discard pile. Energy Retrieval. When you need if you need water energy to put onto Keldeo or Mewtwo, these are the best that you can, this is the best way you can do it. Discard your cards early on in game, then get the energy retrievals, put them back in your hand once Blastoise is all set up and you're ready to go. I run 2 regular energy retrieval and 2 superior energy retrieval, although I was never actually able to use these during Battle Roads. I have been able to use it during test matches against other people at League, but yeah, I'm considering replacing those with something else. And then I run 1 Super Rod. This is the holographic one from Dragon Ball. Usually I just do this when my deck is thinning out and I need to make sure that I don't deck myself out, so I just use this to throw whatever back in. And then as for energy, 2 double colorless energy, mostly for the Mewtwo, but it has come in really handy for getting an early Keldeo as well. I'd rather have a Keldeo that can do 70 early on than one that can't do anything for a while. And then the water energy. I run 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 water energy. That's the perfect number for this deck because I tried 15, it was just too much. I kept drawing water energy when I needed something else. 13 was too little. Whenever I needed a water energy, I just couldn't draw into it. 14 water energy is perfect for this deck. So, as a final sign-off for this, I'm going to show off my favorite 2 cards from this deck. Full Art Keldeo and Full Art Mewtwo. They're just pretty. And I guess that's pretty much it. Hope you weren't too bored by this, guys. I look forward to playing you, Brittany, when you come down here. And thanks everyone for watching, and stay tuned for more.